We'll see what happens. No, I'm gonna go. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm
Okay,
gonna make sure I'm set with something to eat with his mom and all that. So I'll be right back. Is Bill coming today?
I think so.
Oh, okay. It's yeah, it's 10 now. I'll be right back.
Are you coming today or did I misunderstand?
Right. Yeah. I don't know what she's barking at. Bambi, come over here. Come on, go lay down. Put your leg down. Go lay down. Lay down. Okay? Okay. Go lay down. It's okay. It's okay. Lay down. Lay down.
Well, we'll go ahead and start. I sent Bill a message. I don't know. I thought he
Okay.
was coming. He was had scheduled doctor's appointments erroneously, apparently, and he's not going to be in class tomorrow. But I thought he was going to be here today. So
Okay. And next week, are you go? Where you go? Oh, you just have a doctor's appointment. I was thinking for a moment that you were traveling, but you're
no,
not.
no, I have a couple of doctors that um, I really don't have very much choice about when I can see them,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this one is one of them, my electrophysiologist.
Yeah. My mother sees so many doctors, and so many of them are just booked up for months, and I can't fathom how there can be actually a shortage of doctors in so many areas. You know, where you can't get an appointment for literally months. It just doesn't make sense.
uh, I think sometimes they are seeing people more frequently than they really need to,
Probably. Yeah.
but um, they are trying to keep
Yeah.
track of. Excuse me.
Yeah. No problem.
What are you saying? I guess not.
Not coming?
Not coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's like this in Connecticut because I've been out of touch for like 9 years, but down here there are an amazing number of walk-in clinics everywhere. And maybe
Yeah.
that's arising because of the difficulty to get normal appointments.
Ah,
But they're
well,
everywhere down here.
that's good,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, it is if you have a problem, and I have used them in the past, so it
Yeah.
is a good thing. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Bye, Chief Jai.
So I guess you're here for your private lesson today.
Okay.
So do you
Good.
have any particular questions?
Um, the one thing that would be really helpful for me in my own practice is if we could today, excuse me, actually go through our whole, I know we haven't examined every posture yet. I forget exactly where we stopped, but if we could actually go through the whole form with you doing the bending and stretching narrative, and that would give, because I would like to be able to go through it all. And even though we haven't broken it down and examined it in class yet, to still do it on my own. Because I flow through the whole form anyways, and I'm trying to do it on my own. And this way I would know that I'm doing it properly because I'm sure there's spots where I'm not. So if, unless you don't want to get me ahead of myself, but that would be probably the thing that would be helpful for me if we can do that at some point today.
Yeah, just we need to keep working with specifics though
Right.
too, because that's fine if you um, can incorporate kind of the general
Yeah,
feeling. Um, but
that's what I'm trying to do because I don't want to just focus on parts of the form. Sometimes I do, but I also like to also flow through the whole form.
yeah, well, that's the basically the two parts of practice.
Yeah.
Um, and we need to, I guess the one thing I would say is not to let flow be overly emphasized.
Okay.
Flow is a result, not, um, I'm thinking how to put this. I, I, every once in a while I have a student who gets so focused on just flowing
Mhm.
that they never really understand all the specifics.
Right.
So that's my only caution about it.
Okay.
But with you, I I feel better about doing that with you probably than with some others.
Yeah. I mean, when I am doing a whole flow, um, I am trying to do it because I want to try to apply what we're doing to all of the postures, even though we haven't hit upon them yet. And also to, obviously to remember the sequence so that I maintain it at a point where I don't have to cognitively think of it while I'm thinking about the other things.
Mm,
So, so I do try and do both, as you said. It's the two parts, and I do both parts.
good, good. So in looking at, I often, and I did today, in looking at last class's video,
Hmm.
um, I realized that one thing I wanted to say to you that I don't think I had said before, at least not last week,
Right.
is to be really aware of not tensing and lifting your shoulders.
Mm.
Um, there was there were a couple of places um, we were doing that one early um, exercise where you were op- we were thinking about opening and closing and bending and stretching.
Mm.
Um, and what was interesting, and this is okay, I think, just to see my upper body, is it wasn't that your body was opening and closing, your shoulders were lifting,
Mm.
and that's never part of what we do.
Right. Right.
So
Okay.
just to be aware of that.
Right. Okay. I will try to be
Yeah,
because, but yeah.
it's um, quite frankly, it's a difficult thing for many people in the West, particularly I think, because
Right.
we're so upper body oriented.
Right.
Um, it's very hard for us to get that sense of release in the upper body rather than doing it.
Yeah. Especially at this stage of my life, David, I have neck and back problems, and when I'm not doing Tai Chi, I'm actually focused quite a bit on maintain physically using my muscles to change my neck position and things like that. So I probably pushed myself to a point where I innately am using my muscles and tensing things and all more so than I ever used to. So this could be a result of that to a degree as well.
Absolutely. What do you have going on up there?
Um, if I have degeneration in three different spots. I have a lower back problem where I have some degeneration in two spots, and I forget if it's two or three spots between the vertebrae where there's a degeneration. It's to a point where this is my natural posture right now. My head tilts severely this way. I
Uh-huh.
have to focus to keep it straight. Like I'm using muscles to keep it straight. If I just rely on structure, this is where I'm at right now. So this is why I go to the gym regularly as well. I do all of my body, but this is what initiated it 3 years ago was having to build up my back and core muscles and everything because of my lower back and cervical spine problems.
Uh-huh.
Gotten worse. I mean, I can only sleep in one or two positions and other things, but I am aware of it 24/7 now and trying to compensate muscularly. And that sometimes that means using all these muscles. So that probably is carrying over into my Tai Chi without me even realizing it. So I will try and be more aware of that.
Well, that I understand. I mean, I have um, severe degeneration in my lower spine,
Yeah.
and and I have some neck issues, but um, my chiropractor gave me a series of actually simple and brief neck exercises that pretty well seems to have taken care of that. So,
I went to physical therapy for each one. First my lower back, and then the next year because my lower back was very bad at that point. And then the next year when my neck started flaring up and got worse, so I've done two whole full sets of physical therapy and come away with that from that with exercises and ways of living and adjusting on my own so that I can avoid the acceleration of the degeneration and also live as pain free as possible. So
yeah,
that physical therapy was all very helpful, but now I'm on my own basically.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it sucks to get old, huh?
It isn't for the weak of heart, as they say.
That's true, literally and figuratively. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so uh, let's. Um, well, I'll do the beginning with you, and then
Yeah. So thank you for that awareness, by the way. I actually wasn't aware of that, so that's good for me to know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is a good thing to be aware of.
Yeah, very much.
You don't need more tension in that area.
No, absolutely not.
So stepping out, coming into your basic structure, breathing, and releasing downwards. Allow the energy to sink first. And then extending the mind through the body. And endeavoring to be very clearly aware of the flow in the body as much as possible. questions there?
No, not really.
Okay. So, are there any specifics in the form that you want to ask about before we go through?
Uh, yeah, when we're doing this to both sides, or the, not clear on well, I guess we haven't really gone over it yet, but I'm not clear on the rotation of the arms. You know, that goes hand in hand with the bending and the stretching, but during the stretching, I'm not clear on how the arms are rotated as we extend.
Yeah, that's a subtle one. Uh,
It's always been very murky for me, and I asked you about it once before, a couple months ago, and
yep.
I've forgotten the answer.
You what? uh,
Uh,
well, let me do this staying close to the camera. So um, we've gotten to hi
uh,
Pat. Um, so here we're extended, of course. So as you're rotating right, sinking and stepping, you're bending in and half forming um, the fists. And so they come in a bit, particularly you notice that your elbows have come in a bit. And then as you rotate and shift forward, you're extending. Now this is kind of hard to see because the extension is just about that much.
right.
It's not a lot.
Did you do that part again really slowly?
Yeah,
This
because
last part.
um, uh, because I just wanted to add, you don't want to be here
Right.
with this. This is overdone, and actually, this is pulling me onto my toes.
Uh,
So you're here, and you're rotating, stepping as you continue to sink, and
at
then rotate.
this point, we're still drawing in, right?
This is extending.
Now, okay.
So okay, so let me be more precise about that separation. So you're here, so you're bending in all the way to here.
Okay.
This is where I've made this the empty step. I'm 100% still on my right foot. And then I rotate and shift forward and you're extending and this is as much movement of the scapula as it is movement of the arms.
Okay. I guess if I thought I probably wasn't looking at it that way. So if I do, there's really only one way for the arms to rotate if it's scapular expanding.
Yep,
So that's the answer is in the scapula, not the hands.
right.
If I do separate them, I'm over exaggerating here, but the only way that the hands can rotate is like that. So
Let me get you up so I can see you.
bending, empty foot, extending from the scapula
Yeah,
and not too far forward.
yeah. It looks like your upper arm's a little high, but
I'll do it this way and you can tell me. So that's the end of the bending, and now we're extending.
that's correct.
My upper arm is lower sternum.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that,
right at the base of the sternum.
yeah, it may have been a little higher.
Yeah,
Okay. That's at the base, and this one is basically at the dantian, right?
at the lower dantian, yes.
Okay.
Your upper one at the base of the sternum is at one of the positions of the middle dantian.
Okay. All right. I think that was helpful. That broke it down, and it reminded me that I don't have to worry about which way the hands are rotating because I just have to think about the scapula. And when we end, we're 60-40 forward, right?
Yes.
And then we continue on to the kick.
So would you do it once more?
Okay, this way or this way?
I don't care. So turn and face me and hold that posture. Hi, Pat. So I think your left hand is a little too low, and they're a little more on the diagonal. It's as if the two hands are in front, each in front of the side channels.
Ah,
Yep,
like that.
yep, like that.
I do feel more of a connection now, actually.
Good. And then go ahead. Uh, drop your, yeah, make sure you keep your left elbow dropped a little bit below the wrist. Don't let it get straight
That,
out
that
to
was into my shoulder again, you're right.
yeah, don't let it get straight out to the side. Uh-huh. Okay,
So that feels better.
good. So I can go through the form and talk the bend and stretch.
At any point, that would be helpful. It doesn't, now or at the end or whenever you want to
Well,
do
if
it.
you have something else you want to ask about, um,
Not anything specific, as we've been doing each posture, questions have come up, but for the ones we've covered so far, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just continuing to work on doing it properly. Um,
so um, be, show me wave hands. Start from high pat, probably facing the side. Good. Okay, so how did you feel about that?
I felt that that was one of my better ones, actually.
Um,
Um,
it got better as you went along.
yeah, I'm trying to get my finger relaxing and extending into it as well,
Yep, good.
um, and trying to not rotate too fast so that I've got enough left for the sides. And but yeah, I did. That's exactly what I felt. Is my last time around was really smooth, and I built on the first couple.
Yep,
I do feel like I'm making progress on that for sure compared to where I was, but I also feel like I'm a long way from always doing it as well as I did that last rotation. But I
okay,
know where I'm going, so that's the key.
yeah, okay. Um, so, well, why don't I just to get it done? Let me do the flow, and
Okay.
um, do you want me to face the camera?
Um, hmm, yeah. Well, when we usually flow, you face us, right?
No, I start
Oh, I
face.
just want you to do it in your normal
Okay,
orientation.
all right. Then I'll. What I do is I start facing away.
Okay, let's do that then. The normal orientation.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, if you do it facing away, then I'm doing the same exact things as you, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would like. I won't see all the hand stuff, but I've asked questions along the way, and that's not the point of this particular flow.
Okay. So begin Tai Chi. So bending, stretch, bend, stretch, bend, bend, stretch, bend, stretch, bend, stretch, bend, bend, stretch, 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 bend, bend, stretch, bend, did that raise questions for you?
Yeah, but it's on postures we haven't dissected yet, so I'll wait. But it's nothing major. You know, I'll put it this way, there was only a couple spots where I think we did things a little differently than I have been doing them,
Uh,
but it's nothing earth shattering and it makes sense now that I clarify it. So, you know, I think I'm okay with that. Um, do you wanna, I'm okay if we end here today and we make it a short class, because that's gonna be really helpful for me to practice. And, you know, I think Jesse would really love for me to come hang out with him a bit. So,
okay. Well, I am willing to make it short for Jesse.
okay, that's
Give,
appreciate.
give him a hug for me, will you?
I will. I will. I'm really surprised he was so shy. He's actually really usually not.
Well,
And
that's all right. You
yeah, well,
don't force him.
no, I didn't. I tried to coax him to come in just for a minute, and then he did. But you know, when we come up and visit you in person, you know, he warmed up to you immediately last time. So
Yeah, he did. He was cute.
yeah, and he just turned 5, so he's just really every day with him is just so wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm so glad he's back.
all the excitement and exploration and discovery.
Yeah, yeah, seeing everything through his eyes, and he's very inquisitive. He's very thoughtful about things. He puts his mind to things. He doesn't, you know, he tries to examine things and figure things out. And a lot of times we tell him something and he'll say, I know that. That's his big saying right now. I know that. And he's only 5 now and he knows everything already. So,
Sure, of course he does. All right, well, have a great time with him then.
well, thank you. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. I hope everything's good with your appointments.
So,
And
yeah, right, 2 weeks. Good. Oh, it'll
okay,
be fine.
great. All right, David, take care.
You too,
Good.
Jeff.
Thanks for the flow. I appreciate that.
Oh, of course.
Okay, take
Bye.
care.